Going on YouTube, I have a story for my Trevor B. Clever. He's going to explain how he became homeless, and I'm going to give my reaction.
What's up, everybody? This is the one and only Trent. Be clever, coming to you live out that 405 in Oklahoma City. Now in residing in T-Town, it's also known as Tulsa, Oklahoma. Today I'll be talking about my situation becoming homeless and what led up to that. And so let's get into it. Well, I was working as a paraprofessional teacher, and
Paraprofessional teacher. I think that's like a teacher's aide.
I was living paycheck to paycheck, and unfortunately,
Did some quick research before the video started. Average for a teacher assistant is about 30K in Oklahoma. Just to give a little backstory.
the school I was working at ended up letting me go due to a lack of funding in that department. So once that occurred, I still had two or three more checks coming, I think, over the summer. And what happened was, of course, my lease agreement went up, had to be renewed the following summer, so my lease went up. And
So Trent here was living paycheck to paycheck. He got notice from his job that he was going to be laid off. Um, First thing that comes to mind is him being a teacher. I'm pretty sure. I mean, most teachers have summers off. It'd be interesting to know, did he have some type of second job? I know most teachers in the summertime pick up either some type of work, either they tutor, either they do some type of they're part of the gig economy, some type of second job, to make some extra money. I wonder the previous years he was employed as a teacher assistant, was he just taking the summers off relaxing, or was he, working?
on top of that, I was due to have surgery because I've been having some health issues involving my hip, which is called necrosis, and vascular necrosis, along with other health issues, which is like sickle cell anemia. It's funny I can smile at that, but at the time it was really wasn't funny. Anyway, moving further along.
So it sounds like he basically had a snowball effect of bad things happen. One, he lost his job, and then two, he had some health issues that required him to get some surgery.
So what ended up happening is I ended up not renewing the lease agreement because I couldn't afford to. I ended up losing my apartment actually the month before my birthday, my 44th birthday. And so I ended up with my last paycheck packing up all my things in a U-Haul truck, moving myself, and moving down.
That's why it's so important to never get too comfortable in life. You never know what's around the next corner. You always got to attack life every day. I say it all the time, but you got to attack. You never know. This man went from being employed, benefits, summers off, to literally being unemployed, his landlord raising his rent, him being unable to renew his lease because he can't afford it, and him needing major surgery.
Down to putting those things in storage. I put those things in storage. My brother was to help me, but we got into this disagreement, and so I didn't. At the time, I was already stressed out and depression, so I didn't feel like really arguing, and it just got one thing led to another. Things got crazy, so I ended up moving myself, and I ended up living out my car, and then
Okay, so he was unable to renew the lease. He had to obviously move out, live out his car. He said him and his brother had a disagreement, so I guess he was unable to live with his brother. Sounds like he doesn't really have too much family support, if any. So now he is living out his car.
I was in the shelter at Salvation Army for 2 months. Job searching, got me a caseworker, applied for Section 8, applied for public housing, HUD housing, etc., and was putting on a 2-year waiting list for a housing voucher. Well, during that course of time also, like I said, I applied for different temp agencies in Oklahoma City, and I was working off and on assignments, but nothing that was consistent or permanent. So I had a little money here, a little money there, and I would use that to try to get bus passes or to move around the city so I can possibly secure other wings of housing and get on my feet. Anyway, after this 60 days, I only had 2 weeks left for the Salvation Army. So I ended up getting a 2-week extension, which I still able to afford an apartment. So I ended up, I was working at Winko's for about a month or so, and then from Winko's I ended up pretty much losing that job because I couldn't get back and forth to work because I was having really bad car repair issues.
So he had a job through a temp agency. Sounded like the job was far away from the shelter that he was living in, and he started having some car issues. I think that this is pretty much probably was the nail in the coffin for him. Not, I mean, it's one thing not to have a house, but not to have a car. People don't understand that's a real killer, because the car makes your life so much easier trying to get back and forth to work. So the fact that he had some car issues, not sure if he had a car payment. We'll see if he mentions it in the story, but that's really gonna hurt him.
Between the, behind in car payments, car insurance, my tag and title had expired.
So he did have a car note, and then also he did. He said he was behind. It looks like he needed to renew his tags, and he didn't have the money. I mean, given that he was only making probably $35,000 a year, he should have had a car paid off. Should have had something $2,500, $3,000 that he could pay off cash, which means he could have had cheap insurance. Maybe I mean Oklahoma, and I mean insurance. Maybe I don't know what the insurance rates are out there, but I mean, paid off car 2,500. I mean insurance maybe 50, 60, $70 a month. Really would have helped him in this. Really would have helped him in the situation that he's in now.
I had little or no gas at times, and I ended up pretty much losing my car in October 2023. Lost my job at Winko's.
Okay, so his car got repossessed, so now you know his credit is jacked.
I couldn't make it back and forth. It became a house from a struggle. By the time I'm out the shelter, then we transitioning to a whole new shelter. Grace Rescue Mission was crazy because you had to earn 4 credits and then work around those credits just in order to look for a job. And you only could get bus passes unless you had a doctor's appointment or something of that magnitude. Well, I had little or no money, so I had to do what I had to do. A lot of times I walk across that bridge downtown Oklahoma City or whatever just to get on my feet, or try to go to the nearest library, which was close in proximity, and I apply for jobs off and on, like Indeed, my resume through Indeed, Zip Recruiter, and other sometimes direct hiring processes. Well, I get a referral letter, and then eventually I end up getting out of there. I was able to get a secure grant in a transitional housing where I was there for 30 days, which is a blessing.
Make sure y'all check out this brother's channel. I'm gonna leave the link in the description.
But at the same time, it was tough at times to move back and forth with little or no money. So I ended up getting hired again another job, which is Walmart seasonal, and I was working as an in-store shopper during the Christmas holiday from December to January of 2024, trying to get back and forth. And unfortunately, that job ended up letting me go. It was far across town from where I was staying at the time. And
Same issue. The fact that he did not have that car, he had his car repossessed. Now he gets a seasonal job at Walmart. As we all know, Walmart is retail is busy in general during the holiday season. He wasn't able to get there during the times they needed, so ultimately they let him go.
so, if you live in Oklahoma City, and that's what I'm talking about, buses don't go everywhere, and buses cut off at a certain time. So at 6:30 p.m., the bus and I.
That's another point I didn't even think of. The public transportation system sounded like it was really poor out there. Not like a major city where you have buses running all night, all throughout the night. It sounds like here in Oklahoma City where he was at, buses stopped running 5, 6 o'clock. So I mean, if you got to go to work 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and the buses start running at 6, that means when you get off, you got to walk all the way home.
I needed to take cut off at a certain time, and especially on weekends, because a lot of times Walmart needed me to work on weekends because they were in high demand. And so that was unfortunate because around 5:30 p.m., guess what? I would get stranded and have to walk with 6, 7 miles, and
So he had to walk for 6, 7 miles just to get back to the shelter. Think about that. On top of him having some type of issue with his hip, I mean, that's a recipe for disaster.
a lot of times with my hip and my body and my health conditions, I couldn't maintain that. So Eventually, my hours got cut down, and eventually, I ended up pretty much losing that position. January 2024, weather got crazy, weather got bad, and I was in and out the hospital sick all the time. A lot of issues, sinus allergies. I was having issues with my sickle cell crisis.
Mm.
And between that going on, I was dealing with a vascular necrosis in my hip. Between all that stuff going on,
Sound like the brother had a lot of health issues. Looks like he seems to be a little bit of a bigger brother too. That's why it's so important to take care of your health, exercise, work out. Very important, man. Without your health, you can't do anything.
which led to February. February, I ended up basically in a whole nother shelter, whole nother situation. During this time, got blessed with some new glasses for free, which is truly a blessing. I got new glasses. I had clothes. I was able to get food stamps, so I wasn't starving. My issue was housing, securing permanent housing, because it seems like being homeless, you're going from one shelter to another, or on and off the street, and then oftentimes a lot of the shelters you're on a deadline. You won't have so much time to be in or to get on your feet, and a lot of the apartments, even low income housing or income based apartments, a lot of those you still make three times your rent. I wasn't making three times your rent. So once I would get approved, I still needed.
Just one big cycle. He's like on one big hamster wheel. Can't get an apartment because he doesn't have enough money. He can't keep a job because he can't get to the job on time, or he can't get to the job consistently because he doesn't have no transportation. Then trying to use public transportation doesn't work for him because obviously transportation stops running very early in the area that he's in. So he's just spinning his wheels.
Money for a security deposit, prorate fee, etc. Even if it's a special, and I still approved that I was making three times the rent. So March, ended up staying with another friend of mine, and it was a blessing, but in a sense it wasn't. I was staying there, actually sleeping on his sister's air mattress, back and forth, and then sleeping in different other places with couches, etc. Just trying to maintain.
Man, that's got to be real humbling, especially you go from having your own place to having to sleep on be a grown man and sleep on an air mattress at somebody's house in somebody's living room. It's humbling.
And take my medication, make my doctor's appointments, stay positive, stay uplifted. I always pray, and prayer got me through a lot. My mama encouraged me, my mother encouraging me, telling me to fight and not give up, because a lot of times I feel like giving up. I didn't have a lot of support from um, close friends or family. Now that I think about it, I don't even consider those people close friends. But as far as like family, I can lean on my mom, for support, and she supported, encouraged me over the phone, and praying for me. But she couldn't help me because she could barely help herself, and at the time she was in a whole other area in a living assistance center.
Sounds like mom. He said his mom's living in assisted living, probably on fixed income, so she probably couldn't help him financially.
Moving right along, so I decided, a friend of mine offered me an opportunity to come down to Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I was blessed with some little bit of income. So I bought me a, you know, Greyhound bus ticket. Came out here 3 weeks ago to Tulsa, Oklahoma, for a fresh new start, a fresh new location, a fresh new um, everything, just to get on my face and feel a whole lot better.
Sometimes that's what you need. Sometimes it's best to just you gotta pack up what you do have and move to a new area, fresh start, new environment, new energy. So I think that was a good idea.
To get on my feet and feel a whole lot better and encouragement and inspired. So sometimes you got to get out from your old surroundings, man, because sometimes a lot of things can block your blessings. Sometimes negative energy, depression, stress. I had high blood pressure and having that, and a whole lot of things going on because of my.
Just think about the toll all this was taking on his health. All not having a job, not knowing where you're gonna live a week or two from now. I mean, that could have caused the brother to, like you said, he had high blood pressure. He could have stroked out, died.
Stress level at the time being homeless and going from one place to another, not really getting a lot of sleep at night, having health problems, job searching, networking, just trying to get on my feet here and there. And it's a struggle when you're trying to do it all by yourself. But I continued to keep smiling and keep my faith in God and kept pushing forward. which led me, of course, down to Tulsa. I've been in 3 weeks now. I've been same search, but it's a little bit more settled now. Thank God I don't look like what I've been through. For real, that is a real thing. Even though it sounds cliche, it's a real thing. So anyway, so now, again, like I said, I'm in Tulsa, job searching, networking. Um,
So he moved to Tulsa, still job searching, trying to get his life together. Let me know what you think in the comments, man. Life can come at you really quick and really fast. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'm out.